Hi, this is Kay and
Mike.
and we are just introducing the next video for you. So this is all about our matte paints, what they can do, how you can use them, and a little bit of a longer video, which is just a small tag project, isn't it?
Absolutely. Small but perfect.
Yes.
So we're going to make a tag. Mike's here with me, and I've just covered, we're going to use our matte paints, and I've just covered it with some of our gesso, so it gives us a nice covering there.
Lovely.
And then I'm going to, yeah, let's do the background first.
Okay,
so,
what colours have we got? So what's your palette for this one?
Okay, so I've got some peppermint tea, which is that lovely green.
Lovely.
I've got some townhouse teal.
One of my favourites.
One of my favourites too. We've got some nana custard, as you quite rightly said.
Yes, nana custard.
Banana custard.
Just as a quick aside, that peppermint tea also doubles up as verdigris.
It does.
Copper oxide as well, yes.
You're right.
Perfect
absolutely.
combo.
And I'm just going to have a bit of a play with trying to get some texture on here. See, you only need a little bit, don't you? It's nice and concentrated. I haven't got much on here at all.
So, the matte paints.
Matte paints.
So, why are they concentrated?
Because we didn't want to put any fillers in and any additional water. We wanted to give you concentrated colour.
Right, so like some acrylic paints that you can buy, you only have to shake them up. You don't have to do that with yours.
No, because they haven't got additional water and fillers in them, so you're okay to just go ahead.
Well, there's a bonus.
Yeah, you can add water to them as well. I quite like a little bit more blue on this, so what I'm going to do is just dry that off. And then
with your industrial heat gun.
With my industrial heat gun, that's right. I wouldn't recommend you really using this for craft, because it's really a paint stripper.
Just for speed and to get warm.
Yes, look at the lovely texture you get with this paint. It's really gorgeous. So I think what I'd like to do is add some more texture into that. So I've got my Harlequin. It's a really original old stamp, but I love it, and it does really, really well. So I'm just going to smooth out some of this townhouse teal, and I'm not worried that I've actually got bits of the other colours on here, but I think I'd probably like a little bit more, whoops-a-daisy, a bit more townhouse teal on here.
Okay.
Because then that will give me the contrast.
Yeah. So obviously acrylic paints you can use for painting.
Yes.
So but you're about to do something with your acrylic paints that
are quite different.
Yes.
So you can actually stamp with ours, because it's the right consistency and it doesn't have all those added extras in there that you don't need. You can actually stamp with it, and it's really, really good for screen printing as well. We have a lot of people use it for screen printing.
Look at that. That's absolutely fantastic.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah. So presumably then these would also be ideal for using on like a jelly plate.
Oh, perfect. Oh, look at that.
Beautiful.
That's lovely.
That's subtle.
Subtle but gorgeous.
Yes.
Yeah. That's really, really nice.
And a nice impression. Nice impression.
Yeah.
So would you advise cleaning the stamp straight away?
Yes, absolutely. So I always have a spray of water here. So give that a really good spray. And then just with my rag, I'm just going to give that a really good clean straight away, because it is acrylic based and it will stick to your stamp.
Fantastic.
There you go.
Good as new.
Good as new. Right, so I'm just going to leave that to one side for a minute to dry off, and then I'm going to bring in a piece of watercolour card, and I'm going to stamp this lovely dinky stamp here.
Okay.
This is called Flutterby. So for this one, I'm actually going to be using some lovely Postbox Red, and I'll also use a little bit of Burning Bonfire as well. So let's just get those out of the way. Bring this down a little bit so you can see it. And I've got a new roller here just for speed, and I'm just going to put a little bit of
I like the fact that they're a nice consistency as well. They're not overly runny.
No, they're a nice thickness, which it makes it ideal for your stamping, because then they're not going to run and drip everywhere. So I'm just going to roll these out a little bit.
So not necessarily a heavy body paint, and they're not a liquid acrylic paint either, are they? It's somewhere nicely in between.
Yeah, that's right, absolutely. And you'll find that different colours have a different consistency, because obviously the pigments that you use in there. So I'm just going to give that another bit of a rub. There we go. So I've got the consistency of the orange and the red. So that's Postbox Red and Burning Bonfire. And then I'm going to just offer it up. Just make sure I've got colour on everything. So I'm missing a little bit of red there. So I'm going to come back
just in the corner.
In the corner. And I'm going to pick up some more of that orange there. There we go. So you can just see that that's going to give you a lovely outline there. And I've got some watercolour card here. This is the IndigoBlu. So it's nice and smooth, but it has got a bit of texture to it.
May I have a quick stroke?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Oh, isn't that lovely? Isn't that gorgeous?
Absolutely.
And the lovely thing about stamping with paint is that you get that sort of lovely halo effect that you have with, it's like block printing.
Yes.
And it really does look hand done, but still professional.
Yeah.
So it's not as if it's been printed. It's just such a gorgeous texture. It really is. So that's the Flutterby, and I have actually got one already cut out, so you can see the difference in colours here. So it just depends where you put the colour. Okay, so I'm going to bring this back in, and I think we need a bit more contrast on this. So I'm actually going to just have a play. I'm putting some water onto this orange and red.
Obviously permanent when dry, obviously.
Absolutely, but I'm just going to add a little bit of water just to keep it moving. And so that it's, when I stamp with it, it's going to be a little bit more blobby.
Right.
Yes. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. So of course, with them being pigment rich,
yeah,
even if you add water, it doesn't affect the colour quality.
No, it doesn't. So you're still going to get that beautiful colour payoff.
Ooh, nice.
So
watercolour effect.
So you get that watercolour effect. So that will tie in when we put our butterfly on. So I've also stamped out Hope, which is one of your stamps.
It is one of my stamps.
So this I've actually put ultrafine embossing powder on, and what I want to do is just put a little bit of a wash on, because it's quite stark when it's white. So I'm just going to
that doesn't look as though you've used embossing powder. It looks more matte.
Let me just, if you see, you can
oh, there is a little bit of a shine on there, yeah. So is that going to act like as a little bit of a resist then?
It is, yeah.
Fantastic.
It is.
Not that I didn't believe you.
So I'm putting loads of water into this because I want to just tone down this peppermint tea. I'm mixing, there's a bit of banana custard on there, so I'm happy for that to come in. So I want just to put a nice sort of soft bit of colour on here, just to take away that harshness of the white.
Just to kind of blend it in a little bit.
That's right, and then maybe a little bit around that torn edge.
The artistic camouflage.
There, so it's not screaming
white
at me anymore. Yeah. Okay, so then I'm thinking, let me just dry that off before we start messing about. Okay, so at this point I'm just going to have a look what it's possibly going to be looking like, which is really nice. Put that there, but I think it needs a little bit more. I think it needs a little bit more black to tie in with the Hope there. So I'm going to bring in my favourite collector's editions. So I'm going to be using number 49, the Matrix. And what else have I got here? I think something quite small. Maybe a little bit of Alpha number 22.
So obviously the stamps are, just pop across to the website and have a look at the full range.
So yeah, these are the collector's editions. So there's loads of this. I think we've got nearly 60 now. of the collector's editions. Let me just move this out of the way a little bit for you, then you can see. And we're going to be using some VersaFine. Love VersaFine, it's my ink of choice. And this is just the black here. So I just want to check that I haven't got it round the wrong way. Yes, it's upside down. So just turn that round. Oops, sorry, I've just thrown that on the floor. And I think we just want to put a little bit of an edge around those. Thank you, Mike. And maybe just
all right, yeah,
a little bit
that
down
then
there.
brings the black from the hope and the words into the background as well, so it kind of levels it off, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So what do you reckon? Do you reckon I should put a little bit of alpha in, or should I just leave well alone?
Well, you see, if there's some people who know me know that I love my splatters.
Yeah.
So I would have gone for maybe a splatter rather than a stamp in the background, but
Oh no, I want splatters as well.
oh, as well.
As well. I'm greedy, you see. I like a bit of splatter. Yeah. Okay, so I think I am going to put a little bit of this on because I just love it. And look, I put an arrow on the back to tell me which way around it is.
Always useful.
Always.
Particularly with script stamps.
Yeah. So I think just coming in a hint more there, just to overlay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's enough, isn't it?
Sticking to the rule of three, I see.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me just clean up some space. So let's do some splatters. I use my lovely black, really black gesso, and this is such a beautiful black. I'm really fussy about blacks being properly black. If it's going to be black, it needs to be black. So I'm adding water to this to get it nice splat consistency. And then I normally put some recycled paper behind so that I'm not splattering everyone, including
Does this mean I need to go a bit of a distance away?
No, you're fine, honest. Well, I hope so, because this isn't my normal splatter brush. And he does, he moves to the other side of the studio.
I'm stepping backwards.
Okay, I need a bit more water. Yeah, I normally use a fan brush, which is my favourite. Ah, there we go. Okay, it's coming now. Stop giggling.
You've found the action, have you?
The sweet spot, yes. I know some people do that.
Oh, yes.
Ah, that's it.
That's it.
That's the one.
Now you're talking.
Okay, let me just dry that off. Okay, so we've got our splats on there. Let's just double check where we're going again with this. Yeah, you see those look great, don't they? Okay, so I think I'm just going to finish off now. And I'm just going to grab my Sharpie.
That's a big Sharpie.
It is a big Sharpie, isn't it? It's got a nice point on it.
It's a big chisel.
It's a big chisel. And you can tell I use it for the edges because it's all bent in. I might need my other one. This is a nice fresh one. There we go. So just
be aware that little bit is just a little bit wet in the middle. Don't put your thumb in it. It would be a shame for you to get black fingernails.
But I always have black fingernails, Mike. There, so that just sort of gives it a nice finish there. And let's get me grab and go out. Fantastic glue this for all sorts of gluing. Oh, I think that's the new one. Let me just use one that's already open. So the grab and go is fantastic. I use it for MDF, Medite, building, all sorts of stuff because it's a really nice good hold, strong hold, but also it grabs really quickly as well. So if you're making flowers or stuff like that, it's perfect. So let me just bend these in a fraction. And let's put that on there. And I just want to hold that in position for a few seconds, and I'm just going to get a little bit of sari silk just for the
just to finish. Finishing touches.
Yeah. Okay, so that should be set now. Don't know whether I'm going to get both through there, so I'll just try this one. I may need to make this hole a bit bigger actually. Yeah, definitely.
I'm not going to ask why you had a poke tool in your pocket.
Because
that just appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah, I was teaching in Cardiff this weekend, and we needed a poke tool, and I don't know whether everybody had one, so I thought, well, I'll walk around the room and I'll have it ready to hand. So, so that's why. Don't normally have a sharp instrument in my pocket.
Glad to hear it.
There we go. So just give that a little bit of a fray, and I might have put a little trinket on or something, but no, I think I'm quite happy with that.
I think that is very, very lovely.
Thank you. Team effort.